This is a Independence Day update, and I guess since my last video I made, it seems the coronavirus is not as deadly as we thought it was. The death rate wasn't over 1% after all. So this virus is not as deadly as we thought it was going to be. Even though I prepped back in February with a series of rice and I guess canned food and whatnot, things are starting to get better. Now there's always a good chance things can go to hell and might have more panic buying. If we ever get another round of coronavirus and we end up with a panic buying situation, to all you people out there, don't hog up all don't hog up all the toilet paper, because you don't need that much toilet paper. What you need is basic essentials such as foods that can last for like a long time, like years or whatnot. But that seems most likely not going to happen. So I think it's time to open up the country right now. But of course, our governor is not going to open up California, and which means we're going to be on lockdown because our governor wants the economy to crash so that they can use it to blame Trump. And I think Greg Abbott cut out as well over the coronavirus situation because there was a surge. And I guess tomorrow is Independence Day. Why? Because it's 4th of July. And I watched Ron Paul's video on 4th of July. What I'm saying is I watched Ron Paul's video on about this year's 4th of July called Dictatorship, Independence Day of Dictatorship. Independence Day under dictatorship. And he talks about, should we mourn the fact that we lost our rights, or should we celebrate our Independence Day? A day that, well, the day that we fought for liberty. Our forefathers did. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's a really good video. You should watch it. I might put the link in the description of the video just in case if you want to see it. But at the same time, I feel like I should mourn this country's loss of liberty. Now, first of all, it seems that our government is using the coronavirus as a way to initiate authoritarianism. And authoritarianism is an anathema to our, the antipathy to our liberty. And I'm not very happy about it because there's a lot of authoritarianism going on, if you know what I mean. What I'm saying is that they're going to make, for one thing, is they're going to make people do these digital passport to see if they're immune, which is one of Billy Boy Gates' idea, because Billy Boy Gates is a piece of shit. So is his wife, Linda. And both Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is a piece of shit organization. What I'm saying is that it's a crock of lies and deception. Most of the vaccines they deployed has caused more problems than good. Now, there could be a good chance that Billy Boy Gates could be doing this because he has good intentions. Same thing with Melinda. But you gotta understand, sometimes the highway to hell is paved with good intentions. The continent of Africa is a living example of that. Not just by the Gates Foundation, but also other charitable organizations where they, dumped so much food and clothing donated to these people that it wrecked their agricultural and other industries to the point where you can't compete against free. So you have like foreign doctors going to Africa treating patients, and because of that, you're doing it for free. You don't get much advancement in the medical infrastructure in Africa. Just that thing, if you know what I'm talking about. But I guess it's always these dictatorship style things that these governors are trying to do. And there's always sanctions and I guess things that our government's been doing. Now, you not only have right-wing authoritarianism running around this country, right-wing authoritarianism blossoming in this country, you also have left-wing authoritarianism. All these authoritarianism is that they're blossoming, if you know what I'm talking about. Since I guess in June or late March, there was an incident up in Minneapolis where George Floyd, got killed by a police officer. Now, much as I can say, the death of Floyd was pretty much unfortunate. And I guess that officer is going to have to answer to his crimes, which I think he's already been charged at this moment. Or maybe the court's still going on. I gotta look it up. But ever since then, I guess with the combination of the lamestream media, race baiting, and the fact that everybody's under lockdown, nobody's allowed to go out in the park, or at least go to a grocery store, or buy something to eat without wearing a surgical mask. I think this surgical mask and being cooped up, getting stir crazy, we had since from late March to not late March, late April to right now, we had series of riots. And I know that most of them are a result of being stuck in the house all day, as well as Antifa throwing a temper tantrum because Bernie Sanders lost the nomination. course he dropped out. That's the best part of this shit. And now we see every city is burning down. Like Minneapolis is going to become the next Detroit. A lot of people who lost their businesses are probably going to leave Minneapolis, as well as the other population centers that have been affected by the riots, including not just Minneapolis, but Seattle, Portland, probably LA all over again. Hell, LA hasn't recovered from the Rodney King riots as well, mainly South Central. In fact, South Central hasn't recovered from the Watts riots of the mid 60s. The mid 1960s, what I'm trying to say. And now Atlanta's being burned down. Like there was a Wendy's up in the Atlanta area that got burned down because of Rayshard Brooks getting killed. And I guess Atlanta's going to become the next Detroit. A lot of businesses are going to move away, probably move somewhere, but where? Since the riots are everywhere. In fact, New York City is fucking gone lawless and insane. It's like Escape from New York with LA, Escape from LA, which Escape from LA is a shitty movie. Goofy shit that happened at me. But forget about Escape from LA. How about Escape from California? And I don't know where this is gonna go. Most of these protesters, I guess they want left-wing authoritarianism, like socialism and communism. Like their revolution is, we're gonna start a communist state where there's no class and no rich people. Everybody's gonna have all the nice everything. So you have these autonomous zones, like the one up in Seattle called CHAZ, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zones, where they think they're gonna turn Capitol Hill into a autonomous zone, which they run the show. And of course they decided to call it CHOP because they know they're going to get tried under the Insurrection Act. So they call it the Capitol Hill protest. Or I mean Capitol Hill occupied protest. Just bullshit. So how is there a little socialist utopia going on up there? Oh wait, it's been going on up there. Well, it's been dismantled. That's the funny part. It got dismantled by the city of Seattle with their police because they decided to go protest the mayor's house. Which is a bullshit reason. They should have done that a long time ago. It's like, fuck the business owners. The mayor's life's more important. Fuck the mayor. And she can eat shit all she wants. They should get rid of her. But that's all I gotta say about that. And most of these people are not liberty minded. Because we all saw this was a lot of censorship going on YouTube. Ever since, I guess, 2017, YouTube's been going on a spree of censorship. Censoring everybody. You saw this with Red Ice Radio. I guess James Alsop, um, Gerard Taylor, and now Stefan Molyneux has been censored. And I know that Stefan Molyneux has been censored for hate speech. Even though that I watched his videos before, and still watch his videos multiple times, and not one he's ever expressed hatred for any race or anything like that. In fact, hate speech is just another excuse for censorship. Censorship. You know what I'm talking about? Because these leftist protesters, they want censorship. They don't want anybody to have free speech and freedom to say anything. If they really care about liberty, they would have just let everybody say anything they want, even if they're against what they say. In fact, there's an old saying made by George Orwell, saying if liberty has any meaning, if, liber- if liberty means anything, it means saying something that nobody wants to hear, or something like that. Which, I agree. That's what free speech is about. The left hates the free speech. The left, what I'm trying to say is that the left hates free speech. They hate anything that gives people liberty, including rights to bear arms, even the rights to defend themselves. Even a couple has been like smeared. There was a couple up in St. Louis who has been, I guess, doxxed for defending their property. They were filmed doing it, which they have the right to do that. They have the right to defend their property. And of course, they call them Kent and Karens, the left wing. That's funny because if a woman's complaints about the left, I guess, being censorious or whatnot, they get called Karens. The real Karens are the left wings. Remember that. People on the left, the Antifa, the socialists, whether democratic socialist, libertarian socialist, communist, anarcho-communist, or whatever they like to call themselves, are the Karens. They don't want people to have free speech. And just remember that. So, any last words I can say? Oh, yes. Um, Lauren Southern made a video recently, and she made a good quote, for lack of a better term, is that you worst 2 minutes of your life being broadcast will define you. Well, what I'm trying to say is that you could have 2 minutes of you being at your worst, being angry and cussing during a temper tantrum, and that will define you. Your worst 2 minutes will define you, and I agree with that because that's been a bigger problem. That's all I gotta say. I'm Wicked Wonka, signing out.